everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to my parents. We're going to go and see his grandparents. Do you want to go see Granny and Granddad? Want to see Granny and Granddad? Yeah? He likes Granny and Granddad. Yeah, I need to put makeup on. I need to do all these bits. Riley is not very well at the moment. I think it might be a sore throat or something. I'm not entirely sure, but he's not 100%. Like, he's not gone off food, because that kid, you know something's really wrong if he's gone off his food. Yeah, and yeah, he's just not quite himself, and he woke up crying so much from coughing last night, and then he had a really good period of sleep. So I'm hoping we're going to be okay today. They have fields there as well, which is really nice for Goku because he can have a big bounce around, and it's just a case of sort of opening the door for him. So yeah, I need to go put some makeup on, I need to have a coffee before I do anything else, and I need to pack cowpole and things like that for Riley, and I will take you with me.
You're my sweetheart. When you're around, I feel the sparks.
Okay, so excuse this face, but I have had a bad day. A bad day. So, we got to my parents and it was fine. The house is a state and I don't even care. Right now, don't even care. Got to my parents, absolutely fine. Shut the dog out into the field so we could go for a wee, because it's a long car drive, about an hour car drive. He finds a rabbit carcass, and my dad was like, I think he's eaten something. Devoured like an entire rabbit carcass by the looks of it. Then about 15 minutes later I realised something's lodged in his throat, because he's like gagging and coughing and trying to get everything up, and he's sick like 4 times by this point. So I end up taking him to the emergency vets, and which isn't our local vets. So having to juggle a toddler and a dog at the same time. Goku's got a heart problem, so which was hereditary, which we found out once we got him. And so they had to put him under general anaesthetic, and I had to sign a waiver, and it's the worst feeling in the world when they're like, look, your dog is not a prime candidate to have this done. He might not make it, because the last time he went under general anaesthetic was to be neutered, and it was touch and go with that. It was real touch and go with that. Said, like, is there an alternative? And they were like, we can't do a sedative, he's too big, you can't do it. Like, we have to do it. So I was like, okay. He has the general anaesthetic, they can't find anything. Everything's completely swollen. The neck's swollen, the mouth's swollen, the tonsils are swollen, everything's swollen. So I now have antibiotics for him in case he has cut it on the way back up with the bone or anything like that. And £459 later, but I'm just glad he's fine, if that makes sense. I've got to take him to my vet's tomorrow to have a checkup. Yeah, so that's not too bad, because Rich's mum can have Riley for the day, but Riley is now sick and is getting a full-blown cold, so it's not sick, but it's a cold and it's another thing. So these are my boys. Rich has busted his hand as well and has an operation on Friday, so feeling very sorry for himself, and I don't blame him. Full of snot and rubbing it all around his face, because that's what toddlers do. Yeah, it's just been an awful, awful day. I'm going for the wine, so don't even care. My parents were amazing. My dad came with me with Goku. My mum sort of looked after Riley while I was collecting Goku. All of those bits, they did the proper grandparenting thing. Glug, glug, glug. Yeah, we're going for a big glass of wine tonight. So yeah, so far we've reached Wednesday and my week's doing that. £459.85 because of a rabbit carcass. Yeah, what a pleb. Like, it's just a rabbit carcass. Cost me nearly £500. Oh well, he's happy and well, he's not happy, but he's healthy, and that's what matters, and he's back home. We'll get checked tomorrow. I've got all of his meds, all the things I need to be giving him over the next 7 days, so that's going to be me writing out a list. So it is 9:15, and it is going to be a long night, because Goku's already back at trying to be sick again, so ring the vets first thing tomorrow. Okay, so quick update. Excuse the attire, I'm in dog walking everything. So we've gone to the vets, we've done the second trip, we have more medication for him. Some of them we've swapped over from the ones they gave us yesterday to sort of a better one for him, sort of going forward. We basically have to just keep an eye on him, make sure that if it gets worse, go back to the vets without fail. Because they don't know, they only did an x-ray apparently of their neck, of his neck and mouth. They didn't do a chest. We don't know if there is bone stuck in his stomach. He's had an injection to make sure, to sort of help with his nausea and make sure he's not constantly trying to bring stuff up, which obviously would aggravate his throat, but because even she said, like, feeling it is still so swollen. So that's where we're at with that. I've just done on my chalkboard as well, like a whole sort of list of what time he's got to have what medication, because there's a lot. So yeah, we, like 560 quid later, he, you know, from eating a dead rabbit, that's having a dog for you. We did have him insured, because when we first got him, we you know, part of the healthy pet plan and everything like that, we also got him insured. And then we found out that he had a heart problem. He has a heart murmur and an irregular heartbeat. We ended up having to go to see a specialist up country. They said it's hereditary, it will always be there. If he can make it to 4 years old, then it probably won't affect him as much, because when he was running around and when it gets really hot in summer, he struggles, and you can see his chest, instead of the normal heartbeat, it's really having a bad time. The specialists, you know, put us on this medication that cost an absolute fortune to get. Each packet that we were getting for like a month or so was like another mortgage. It was a lot of money. which after seeing the specialist, after getting the medication, after him having tests, after him having 2 lots of general anaesthetic, mounted to roughly 2.5 grand. And then it was a continuous using the insurance for the medication he was being given. Our insurance eventually, after a year, turned around and said, we're not doing this anymore, sorry, we don't want to insure him. We never actually were given the option, and we rang other ones as well, where because of his condition, they were like, even if we were to say no to the heart, but we'll insure you for other bits, like they've never wanted to just take him on with their insurance. So every month we've always put money aside for him to have his own little kitty, if you will. So yeah, it's 560 quid out of that. They're part of the family, so what can you do? I'm just really glad he didn't have to see a specialist this time, because that would have been, as the vet said yesterday, that would have easily started at 2 grand again. So yeah, he's home and he's passed out on his bed and he's feeling very sorry for himself, which I don't blame him. We're going back to my parents tomorrow because Rich has got to have an operation at a hospital. So Riley's not well, he's full of cold. Goku is on the mend but still not very well. Rich will be a bit woozy after his operation and everything, and I have my Supermum pants on. Just gonna have to go with the flow. So I'm sorry that this video is completely weird and not usually what I do, but this is how a day in the life pretty much can happen for me. But yeah, this is what happens, I'm afraid, guys. So if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, feel free to subscribe. I'd love you to stick around, and I shall see you next Monday. Bye.